Now, in one of our latest video, I had explained to you how voting might go on gubernatorial race in Western region. And that analysis came at a time when the ODM leader Raila Amolo Odinga was meeting with some of the governors in Western region. Oparanya, Ojamong, Otichilu are the ODM governors. But seemingly, Bungoma governor, Wycliffe Wangamati, might be seeking his re-election on ODM ticket since he is an unwelcomed guest on Ford Kenya party. But today, I want to put more focus on Governor Otichilu, the Vihiga governor, on how he is continuously making mistakes which might haunt him in the next general election. Now, there was a burial function which caught a motion of so many people in Sabatia constituency, which involved one of the potential aspirants for member of parliament, the late Stureh. And Governor Otichilu was deeply involved in preparation of that function because he knew many leaders are going to be part of that burial service. Musalia Mudavadi was coming there. So for that reason, he was part of that preparation. So I will explain to you how things went. But before we go deep into that, you might be watching me and you have not yet subscribed. My humble request, please consider to subscribe so that any other time once we come out with a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all the returning subscribers and anyone who drops comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Sorry guys, if you are keen, you could notice I was sweating in the shirt that I was wearing. So I had to change, put on t-shirt and turn on AC. Now let us continue with our discussion. Now, Governor Otichilu can be re-elected to serve his second term in Vihiga County. But the governor is always making mistakes which are going to haunt him in the next general election. Remember, Otichilu is coming from one of the small communities within Vihiga County. And so the governor sneaked in very easily and got re-elected simply because the Maragol community, which is perceived the largest community in Vihiga County, had two potential gubernatorial aspirants on ballot paper. That was Governor Karanga was sitting governor. Then there was Chanzu who was running on ANC ticket. So for that reason, these guys, they split the vote. So Governor Otichilu, in his own wisdom, he got to put his community, the Bunyoro community, together. Then he got some vote from Tirik community because he chose his running mate from Tirik community. So that helped him to achieve his goal, and that's how he became the governor. And remember, as we are speaking now, the first thing is that Governor Otichilu already, he has fallen out with his deputy, Dr. Seisi. And continuously the governor is still making the situation hostile for him within Vihiga County. I had explained to you on how the mismanagement of funds is still going on in Vihiga. But now politically, in this function, Otichilu, I told you, he was largely involved in preparation of that function. And being part of that function, since the senior leaders in Western region were attending that burial function, Mudavadi, Senator Masika Wetangula, the speaker, you know, all those leaders, they were there. And so, Otichilu got a chance to address the residents. And during that time, the biggest problem was that Otichilu could not manage even to calm down the situation so that he can address the people. So for that reason, he just talked for less than a minute and he had to sit down. But now I will not focus on that. I want to put more focus on the reaction of Otichilu, or what he did next after that kind of hostile situation for him. That's where I will put my focus more. So the story goes on that Otichilu promised the PAG church, which was in charge of that burial, that is going to provide them with a sound system. So for that reason, they did not thought of the second man that they could come with their own sound system. So they depended on the governor. And for that reason, even once the governor had promised, he still delivered his promise. So he provided the sound system. But the funny thing is that when Otichilu realized that the environment was hostile for him, after his speech, remember Musalia Mudavadi was rushing for another 3 burials, 2 burials, then another function in Nyandarua. So he had to rush up with his other leaders so that they can leave in time. But what goes on is that how Otichilu handled the situation after Musalia Mudavadi had left that venue. Because the people who are in that function say that Otichilu went ahead to switch off the sound system which he had offered to give these guys to use in that burial. And remember, that burial had almost 10,000 people who attended that burial function. So Otichilu switched off his sound system and he left that burial. So the pastor who was there to preach to these people, and remember, this burial was attended by the senior most PAG leader, the general representative of PAG. So he was in that function, and he was the guy who was preaching on that pulpit. But the governor took off with his sound system, leaving the church in a dilemma, not in a position to address those large crowd, the large crowd that was there waiting for the sermon. So that is where the rain has started beating Governor Otichilu. Because in my view, I feel that if Governor Otichilu, in his own wisdom, he was supposed to understand and leave these people to run the program up to the end, rather than showing his anger. In fact, what he did is that he showed the people that he cannot control his anger. And therefore, having a PAG church in Western region, those who come from there or those who understand that, it is one of the biggest and largest denomination in Western region, and especially in Vihiga County. It's one of the largest. And therefore, if you understand in our politics, church leaders, the bishops and pastors, really play a big role. They can influence their followers on how they can vote. And you know, the biggest mistake you can do is when you can embarrass someone's pastor somewhere. Those followers cannot forgive you in that manner. And I think what Governor Otichilu did in that burial, most of the members of PAG Church will not forget that. And for that reason, my question is, how is Governor Otichilu going to address these people when he will be requesting for them to give him their vote, when he really embarrassed their most high leaders in that function? Because if Otichilu could have the second thought, then he could have allowed the function to go on and the system to be there. He could have had a second thought about, he could have thought of what about the church. But for him, he thought about what the crowd has done to him. So being an emotional governor, the general representative of the PAG church went up preaching, but just, you know, on a loud voice, but which could not even reach all the people who were in that burial service. So it was hard for the person who was preaching to reach out to this crowd. And for that reason, most of the people who were in that burial and many of the PAG members of parliament felt that Governor Otichilu disrespected them. And even for them, they're still saying that in as much as he was bringing this sound system, it is still the manner of Vihiga people. So in that line, they feel that Otichilu does not have a respect for the PAG church. So this is one of the things that are going to haunt Wilber Otichilu in the next general election. But it's like even the governor has discovered that he might not make it in the second term. Because remember, he has fallen out with his deputy. When Dr. Sei's wife died, and Raila Amolo Odinga attended that function. If you remember, he tried to unite these guys when he was holding their hands together. But remember, even up to now, things are not yet settled within Vihiga County. That guy, Otichilu, went ahead to even take the cars from him. He cannot even access his office up to now. So you put all these things together. The people who come from the Tiriki community still feel that Governor Otichilu does not respect one of their own. So for that reason, they still believe and they still think that they are not part of Otichilu's government. So if we will have a serious candidate who can still go to, because anyone who will be a candidate, and let's assume he might be someone coming from Maragoli, the only thing we need to do is to look for a running mate within the Tiriki community. And if it might be someone from Tiriki community, you need to get a running mate from Maragoli community. That is enough to kick Wilber Otichilu from Vihiga County. Because now every day, now you see, if we go to Tiriki community, the environment is still hostile for him on how he's treating one of their own. If we come to Maragondi community, he is an unwanted guest because of how he has treated things within the Vihiga County, and even lacking respect for the church. So the only community which might stand with him up to the end remain to be the Bunyore community. And partially Bunyore people are still in ODM. So that is the only constituency that he is sure of it can give him vote. But the question is that enough to make him a governor in the next term? The answer is no. So maybe Otichilu is a man who has given up. He has seen how these people treated Governor Akaranga, who really performed better than him, in my own view. And now, he is aware that he might follow the same line. So for that reason, I can believe this is why he is a reckless governor going forward. Now, for the past 10 days ago, we did some survey poll here on the One Kenya Alliance. And the result is out. Almost 839 people voted. So the person who led got 50%, followed by the second guy with 38%. Then we have the other person getting 15%, and then 4%. So in that poll, Musalia Mudavadi got 50%, Kalonzo Musyoka followed by 30-something, then Gideon Moi 15%, and Santa Masika Wetangula 4%. Because on this channel we are analyzing politics, so it is also good for us to try and come out with our survey pool so that we can also understand what the people on this channel are speaking about. So in the next move, I'm going to launch another pool, maybe next week, and that pool will be one of the One Kenya Alliance person who emerged the winner, and I will put it together with the Raila Amolo Odinga, ODM party leader, and the UDA party leader William Samoei Ruto. So there will be 3 guys. So I would also like you to go and vote when I will launch out that pool. Then at the end of 10 days, we will also come out with the result, because it will also help us to understand what our followers on this platform are want to hear, or we will learn their mind, what they are thinking about, or where their vote is. And for that reason, we will have better understanding of politics also. So keep on voting once you get an opportunity to do so. And I want to thank each and everyone who went on to vote in that poll. Thank you so much. Let us keep on doing so.